Here we are. The bottom right-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player representing Storm Gaming. It is PiLiPiLi.
And his opponent, our yellow Terran. It is Gravity's Semper. So, Ruins of Ceres, it's a bigger map, but the spawn locations at the same time, they're not too far from each other. It's not like they're diagonal from each other. So I'm wondering almost if we are going to see similar strategies as last time, because this is, tied 1-1. It's a best out of 3. Or if we're going to see pretty safe stuff again.
It's very much coming out of the positions, too, how they're doing it. As you said, they did do the exact same builds as Game 1 going into Game 2. I wouldn't be surprised. And, of course, it's about the same distance from each other as Prion terraces, with it only being horizontal, but still that's a pretty darn far away walk to make. Both players will be expanding up to the right, which does put pretty good drops possibly in those places if they want to do that, if we do see late game. But for now, it's just looking like a normal play out of Semper, and
PiLiPiLi went Nexus first this time. So a bold move there. If Semper were to open up with Reaper, it could do some damage here to Pili.
Just doing reactor, and that's something the probe actually could have saw if it went out just a little bit earlier, because you can see that Rax is not quite in the position to wall off with the supply depot. Goes for the reactor early on. Probe, not being quite smart, not going for the mineral lines, is caught for a moment and taken down almost, but it looks like he's going to get away. Spots the reactor, but Semper is doing exactly what he did last game. Biggest thing I think to note, especially for Semper, is the mains are just big, but they're open towards your opponent. It's so easy to go for those drops. Yet PiLiPiLi, as I said, he's a man of his own meta. He doesn't care about dropping. He's his own guy.
Yeah, there is that, like you said, that there's this cliff in the base that's hidden in shadows unless you put buildings there. You could really sneak a drop in there. As a Protoss, I personally do that a lot. It's a nice little area.
After thinking about it, I think I completely take back drops, just because Blink Stalkers are so much better on this map than that. You can blink up to the high ground and then blink down into the third base, and the Terran can do relatively little to actually deal with it without having a bunker on the high ground or something like that. And it takes a lot of defense to even defend Blink Stalkers. So for PiLiPiLi, I like this as a Game 3 decision, only because it's one of those times where, Blink Stalkers are phenomenal in Ruins of Ceres.
They are. They really are. And just as you said, there's a lot of area that they can blink up. But we have got 2 Adepts now moving out, looking like they want to do some scouting and harass. 2 Adepts, they can do so much damage, especially if you can get them in just the right position.
Now those Adepts are moving in, but with the bunker, actually not all the Marines are going to go into the bunker there. They know easily the Adept can slip by it, so they will have to pull back for now. We'll see if the Adepts can achieve any damage. And not even very early Legacy of the Void, when it was released, I often saw Adepts only getting 2 to 3 kills, but now they can get upwards of 4 to 5, getting more and more as the meta is changing. And the Marines, for a couple seconds, focus down the orbital command and allowing the Adepts to bring them down pretty low and help the Adepts maybe able to go 1v1 with these Marines and a little bit of micro.
Yeah, these Adepts are being microed pretty well, but more Marines arrive. However, the Adepts, they fade away. They get another SCV kill. Another SCV goes down as well. The Marines just kind of chasing them around at this point, but the Adept is getting very low on health. It does get taken out.
The other Adept does manage to get away and will be able to spot a third CC when it happens, but Semper is going to pretty much be going what he did on the previous games, looking to move out roughly about 8 minutes 30 with a nice siege tank bio army. PiLiPiLi is also doing the same thing. Blink Stalkers are on the way, and with killing a couple of those early Marines, PiLiPiLi is being incredibly aggressive. Stalkers getting right up in the face of his opponent, and I'd rather see them go a little bit deeper and be able to kite the Marines out of the base, but maybe they're going to be able to pick up the supply depot. However, the Cyclone, he's going to have none of this shit.
Yeah, the Cyclone is really going to do a good job at pushing this away. And it's actually chasing down these Stalkers here. It's making them go all the way home. Pili tries to get some hits off, but one Stalker goes down, basically forcing the other one away at this point. Ooh, we do have a Warp Prism being made now for PiLiPiLi.
This is much earlier than the previous games before he did go for Dark Shrine attacks, but this is more reminiscent of game 1 where he went for the Warp Prism attack, but it was taken out by some missile turrets about the same timing. Not that many gates being added on, however, only 2 gates for now. Oh, as I say it, there's 3 more gates in a DT Shrine. Basically, he's going for the same thing, but making it much quicker. Seeing where Semper is at this point, playing a little bit more defensively as more than the last game, and I'm going to go for it then. You're going to be defensive. I'm going to pressure you, take a quick third, maybe, and end it. Or he can just blink up into the main and then blink down to the third.
Yeah, and you know what? If there's too much going on at the natural, he can just blink up and, at least force some army to get out of position. We're going to have more Stalkers being warped in. Blink is getting very close to finished. And 3 gateways about to finish as well. This might be a little more aggressive than our past 2 games with this.
The natural allowing these Stalkers going to be able to focus down the bunker really easily. A couple SCBs will give their lives. Marines are repositioning. The siege tanks are staying in the main just to make sure that there's no counterattack into the main or multi-pronged attack. For now, the Stalkers of PiLiPiLi are going to do a phenomenal amount of damage, though, in the end, picking up a total of 12 kills. And then more Stalkers are being warped in, and Semper is going to lose Marines either way. Whatever he does here is going to be pushed on both fronts. He's got to spread out quickly, but now that he's going up into the main, he's got to come back down to the national, and SCVs that are not there in time. The bunker goes down, siege tanks are being repositioned, and now we can easily see an attack in the main. But no, PiLiPiLi's screw it. I can win with the Stalkers. I don't need multi-pronged attacks.
Yeah, we've just got more and more Stalkers coming out. Warp Prism goes up into the main, providing that high ground vision, and the Stalkers will blink up here shortly. There they go, taking out that tech lab. It was researching when it went down. More SCVs do begin to fall. The Marines try to move forward, but the tanks, they're just not in the right position to help take care of the Stalkers that are now way in the back of the base.
There's only 1 medevac at this point, so it's not going to be able to leapfrog these siege tanks as it should be, and it's going to easily go down. Big blink forward right into the bio army, and it could even take out this medevac, but it doesn't even care. Focusing down the bio, yeah, this may have been a misstep for PiLiPiLi. A big warp, and it's going to be DTs to say, you may have finished up my army. There's a big scanner trying to deal with them, but it's not going to be enough. PiLiPiLi is just going to be able to fight his way through this, I think. I don't know. He can't scan anymore after this, so DTs should be able to finish it off. Stalker close enough to the siege tank, it can't finish him off, and PiLiPiLi optimizing, there's the GG. PiLiPiLi capitalizing off of the map architecture and just being able to go into the main, finish him off. Yet in the end, in the very beginning, he still was able to pretty much get not even a lead, but scare Semper into one of those positions where you just can't take a third on this map. Anyways, you can't take a third, which in turn means you can't quite get the production up and full economy to be able to have bio in your natural and main with the same force.
Yeah, PiLi did a really good job with that. He scared Semper, and then, like we said, blink Stalkers on that map. There is so much potential. There is so many places you can blink up that it just makes things really difficult. Even with tanks trying to situate themselves, you can almost just blink around those and move around them and just kind of get the engagement you want.
Someone in chat, I find the current balance of the game disgusting, lol. Okay, cool. Up next, it should be PiLiPiLi versus Practice X, who I think plays 2v2s. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard of Practice X before.
I have too, yeah. Yeah, we do have that 99-0. I assume that's just a small error.
I believe that is when it is a walkover, or not a walkover. What's it called? Forfeit. I'm not 100% sure with that, but no regret checked in, so I don't know why he wouldn't be here unless it was like he checked in and then someone died. Don't want to get that dark, but like checked in and something terrible happened. Now we're just everything's screwed.
Maybe. Let's hope nobody has died.
That's the only situation where you don't play in a StarCraft tournament, right? Someone died. You're like, I'm fine. I'm still gonna play in their honor, but.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I know, if my house was on fire, I'd probably still want to play StarCraft.
I'd still
fine until it touches the internet.
It touches the internet, I'm out the window, man. But until that happens, I'm fighting for my GM there as Terran. That's great. That should be a reality TV show. If they win, they have a game, and if they win it, hey, get $100,000, but at the same time, the entire house is on fire.
That sounds awesome. I would totally watch that.
You're a terrible person. You're a terrible person.
Yes, I am.
Up next, I think, is PiLiPiLi vs. Practice X, yet I have no way of knowing. We also have a couple cool games that actually I'd like to view. Mystic vs. Marsman should be good.
Yeah, that'll be good to watch. I've casted Marsman quite a bit. He is a very, very good player.
Mystic vs. Marsman, the first players to be in the round of 3 as Game Time versus Siege Mode. Game Time easily can make it into our finals, so can PiLiPiLi, who we just saw. We also have Realmer versus Bolts. I'm going to post this in chat so everyone can see what's going on. Realmer versus Bolts, Solcon versus Dipwood, Avilo Kappa 123, Kappa versus Siegfried. I don't even know. I don't know.
Siegfried, also a pretty good player. Curious to see how he does. I've played with him a few times. I don't think I've won versus him yet. I'll definitely need my revenge.
I've played Avilo. You saying Avilo?
Oh no, Siegfried.
Oh, Siegfried. No, I was thinking I played Avilo. I think 3 times. I can't remember. And I beat him as Terran, so I was happy with that in a mirror matchup. I think the other 2 times he just smashed me and was like, "Yeah, you suck." And I was like, "Thank you." And he was like, "You suck a lot." And I'm like, "Okay, great." Even if he loses, he's just like, "You suck." Even if he wins, he's just, "You suck."
I remember he once gave me advice in PvT, and it was like 2 words. It was build oracles, and it was actually pretty good advice. I'll admit that was in HOTS. Looks like our next game going to go shortly.
Should be Mystic versus Marsman. Mystic was also in our chat. Guys, by the way, please follow if you can below to support the RSL. We're going to have RSL Season 4 coming up in February, according to Koshkii, which is going to be a full 32-man tournament. And we have the brackets, we have groups, it's everything. And that's, of course, all put together by Hawkeye and Kaboosh. Shout out to Kaboosh in chat.
Yeah, and the winner of tonight's tournament will get $20 as well as 500 RSL points for the RSL tournament. Second place, $5, 300 RSL points. Third and fourth get 200 RSL points, and 5th through 8th also get RSL points as well. They get 100. Also, kind of new news for Rival StarCraft League. We have got a Patreon now. So that's a great way to support us. I think we have like minimum donation of $1. You can do $5.
Oh, okay. Let's be honest. We're down with like 20 cents. If you want to give me 20 cents, I'm fine. Like I'm not gonna cap you guys off at $5 or 20 cents all the way. By the way, we will be casting Mystic versus I think Marsman.
I believe so. Yeah. So it will be Mystic versus Marsman. I am trying to remember, is Marsman Terran? I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Marsman is Terran according to this. It's going to be a TVZ. He's choosing Terran, so I'm going to go with that until he switches it to Protoss, in which case he's a jerk. No one loves him. But
oh, there it is. Protoss. It is PVZ. PVZ.
Sure, another PVZ. So I'm sure we'll see the Adept play instead of PiLiPiLi being like, yeah, Stalkers blank.
Stalkers blink possible. There's a lot of cool things you can do in PvZ. A lot of dirty things.